Oh, I did it again. Oops, I did it again.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by. It's the right screen.
Yep. What up, people? It is another edition, a long edition of Square One. And I'm here with two of my main men. That would be Nzo Biggaford Entertainment and Mr. Chris Knight of the Real Review 3000. What's going on, fellas?
Yes. Not much. Just
Can't
pulling a JJ.
Can't hear you,
You're
Nzo.
pulling a JJ. You're muted.
Oh, my bad. I said I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've been on stream with my brothers in a while, so it's good to be back with you guys, man.
The plan is we'll be back here in a couple days. So
I was looking at the thumbnails to see, and it's been a year since we did our last show.
Really?
Square One?
Square One? It's been a year since we did the last Square One. I was pulling up the
We must have been talking about the NBA Finals last time we were on.
I don't know. It's been a minute. But I also think I got arterial motives, which I really don't.
100%.
I've been starting to watch Square One again. Not Square One, but First Take again. And I really think Michael Wilborn has bring some credibility to that show. Because when he's on there,
100%.
I'm listening to it. I'm like, and he's making sense. He even makes Stephen A. arguments sound more sensible. So I'm starting to feel First Take again. So I'm gonna give a big ups to Michael Wilborn, man. I like him. There's nothing he said that sounds totally crazy to me since I've been watching him.
He's the only one that I will say, like, you know, I can really like listen to some of the stuff he says. Stephen A. talks a lot of trash too much. Can't really stand him sometimes. You know what I mean? But Michael Wilborn and listen, there's one now that I watch called The Run Back, and the chick on there is a huge Spurs fan. I love her, bro. I love this chick.
I like her too because she's not like Molly. She does not keep interrupting. She lets them talk. She plays the moderator. She asks a question, but she asks a question that Molly in it. Molly used to get on my nerves, man. Oh, she used to get on my nerves. We couldn't hear the people on there, the guests, talk and explain their points because she's busy trying to explain her points. I'm glad to get up out of there. I mean, I hate she lost her job, whatever, but she's doing too much, in my opinion.
100%. What up, LDG? What's going on, brother? How you doing? How you doing?
Been a long time, LDG. Glad you're here. Okay. One of the topics we're going to talk today about is there was a discussion between Mad Dog, Russo, and mainly Stephen A. And the question was, if the Knicks win the championship this season, would that make Jalen Brunson the number one Knick of all time? Now, in my mind, I'm gonna say no, but then Stephen A. brought some points that I didn't realize, and I'm like, that's a strong argument. Of course, Russo said no. He put Patrick Ewing. I think Willis Reed was one. I can't think of the one that dressed so flamboyant. Yo, it's just a real loud, real Clyde. Is it Clyde somebody?
I'm not sure.
I can't think of it.
Charles Oakley was there.
Oakley wasn't in there, but it was.
No, he was a Knick though.
Yeah, he was a Knick.
Yeah,
it was like Willis Reed. I was thinking Bernard King because Bernard King was fantastic. But they were about 4 or 5. But we're gonna play this. I'm gonna play this video, and we'll hear it, and then we'll come back and discuss it. I want to play this right here because I don't want to get copyrighted. So I believe if I put this picture in front of that, they may not do it.
It's a good question, but I'm still gonna go with Patrick Ewing.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna go with Patrick Ewing.
I'll tell you why I'm not going. Well, Stephen A. gonna make a good point about that. But
I want to hear what he had to say. Yeah,
Jalen Brunson, Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony, Bernard King, Willis Reed. Those are the top 5.
Okay, well, definitely not Carmelo Anthony though.
So
I don't put him
For
there.
that, Jalen Brunson dropped 30 points on Saturday. He now has 12 road 30-point playoff games, the most in franchise history. That is.
Let's read. They had all these Hall of Famers on there. Obviously, the '73 team is legendary, and Clyde Frazier can't go anywhere in New York without being worshipped because of those great performances. Earl Monroe. But here's the thing about Brunson in the modern era that can't be passed up, and it's a little bit crude to discuss, but it's so important. I have to bring up his contract. It's not just what Brunson's done on the court for the Knicks. He's been one of the best finishers in the league. His willingness to take $100 million less than he could have taken not only has enabled the Knicks to build out this roster. The reason they have Bridges and they have Anunoby is because Brunson is taking less money because it's important to him to be an all-time great Knick. He wants to lead them to that championship, and he understands the value that is in greater than in his short-term salary. But also the leadership that he has shown in building the roster. These are his confidants, his friends that he has brought in. One of the things the Knicks have going for them above most teams is their incredible chemistry. And Brunson is at the centerpiece of that. So, look, I'm not going to go 15 rounds with you, dog, on Clyde Frazier or David Bush or whatever. But they didn't have a salary cap and a luxury tax and apron system back then. Jalen Brunson didn't just win it on the court. He's defeating the CBA in place to help the Knicks get to where they are.
Yeah, it's a fair point about the CBA. I'll let you argue that. But, I mean, geez, you're going to put him ahead of Frazier, Reed, and Ewing. Willis won an MVP. He made the two biggest shots in the history of the franchise when he made those first two against the Lakers in Game 7. That Knick team in 69-70 won 18 in a row and set the consecutive win record. Clyde was, outplayed Jerry West, had 36 points, 19 rebounds, and 12 assists in Game 7 against a team that had Wilt, Baylor, and West, crying out loud, 3 of the top 10 players in the history of the NBA. The second championship team also beat the Lakers, beat the Celtics, who had Havlicek and Cowens and people like that. The Knicks, they're beating Mobley and Jared Allen. Can we calm down just a little bit about Brunson? And they haven't won the finals yet. To me, you put them any order you want. Reed, Frazier, Ewing. Those 3. You want to put Brunson 4th, even if he wins? I'll give you that. No problem whatsoever. He's not yet. Am I going to put him, even though Ewing didn't win, he lost to Jordan and Elijah won. All right? That's who Ewing lost to when he lost in the postseason. Michael Jordan and Elijah won. Two of the great players, the best and a top 15 player in the history of the league, and he lost in Game 7 for crying out loud. He is not over those top 4. That is not fair. That's blasphemous. I'll let Stevie handle it. That's blasphemous. It really is. Silly. Steve?
It's not It's not.
Oh, yes,
it's
it
not
is.
blasphemous.
Yes, it is.
It's not blasphemous. You have lost your damn mind.
No, I haven't.
Listen, understand the premise of the question. None of this is a conversation if a championship isn't in New York. But if the New York Knicks win a championship with Jalen Brunson, who's averaging 29 on 50% shooting in these conference finals. If this man, by the way, last year in the conference semifinals, who did he beat? He beat Tatum and he beat Jaylen Brown to get to the conference finals. Let's not forget that, okay? So here you are. You arrive in New York 4 years ago. We're looking at you because we wanted Kevin Durant, okay? We wanted Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, okay? We got Jalen Brunson. And look at what fools it's made of all of us. Jalen Brunson comes in here. His first year with the New York Knicks, he's averaged 24 and 6. The last 3 years, 28.7, 26, and 26 a game. The New York Knicks went first round, second round, conference final, game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, then game 6 of the conference finals. And now here he is, 1 game away from the finals. If he wins the championship, it will either be against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the reigning defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder, or it will be against the new generation led by Victor Wembanyama for the San Antonio Spurs. If he wins a championship, first of all, get Ewing out of there. You didn't deliver it. I understand the Jordan part. The Olajuwon, I'm not giving you a pass on that. Olajuwon was phenomenal. I got that. But in the same breath, he wasn't going up against a scrub in Patrick Ewing. You were supposed to hold your own in that damn series. Now, I don't even put it on Patrick Ewing because we know what Pat Riley did in terms of leaving John Starks. John Starks, sorry to bring that up, my brother. You know I love you. But damn it, 0 for 11 from three-point range, 2 for 18. Don't get me started at that moment for us, okay? Because to me, it wasn't 1999, doggy. We know the Knicks didn't have a chance in 1999. Lockout short season. You go to the finals. No Ewing. You got Sprewell and Marcus Camby and these boys going up against Duncan and Tim Duncan and David Robinson. You had no chance. We all knew that. The New York Knicks' last chance at a championship was 1994. That's how many years ago is that? We talk about 32 years. And Jalen Brunson brings you a title for the first time in over 3 decades. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Walt Clyde Frazier. I know he's that dude. You got 4 other dudes that's on the NBA's all-time 75th anniversary team. That's who he was playing with. Who's Brunson playing with? I know they look great now. Mikal Bridges over the last 10 games, he's been phenomenal. Major, major props to him. Josh Hart, you told me to shut up. I shut up. But not long enough to not give him props because, damn it, Mikal Bridges deserves it. Josh Hart deserves it. OG Anunoby deserves it and a whole bit. But it's about Brunson, okay? If this man delivers the champion, if he delivers the chip, it is under far more adverse conditions than what the New York Knicks had to deal with. He definitely goes atop the list. Number 1.
Oh, my God.
Number 1. Ahead of everybody.
Well, let me ask you a question, Steve. How many championships did Reed win? He won 2. How many did Clyde win? 2. He won 2.
Hold on.
He's got 2.
I just told you they're playing with each other. I just told you they're playing with each other. You got 4 other dudes you playing with that's on the NBA's All-75th team, anniversary team. Who's Brunson playing with?
Well, you love Towns. You've been telling me about Towns for weeks.
Hold on, wait a minute. I love Karl Anthony Towns. He ain't on that list. OG Anunoby, love him. $212 million. I've never blinked. That linebacker playing forward for the New York Knicks. Love OG. Mikal Bridges, very proud of that brother right now. Keep it up. Josh Hart. But this is not DeBusschere and Bradley and Willis Reed and Earl the Black Jesus. Earl the Pearl Monroe. That's who his teammate was. Who Brunson has. Who does Brunson have? Are you kidding me? No, without question. The New York Knicks win the championship this year. Jalen Brunson goes down as the greatest Knick
nuts.
Of all
my God. What you have for breakfast?
There's nothing.
I am going to root like hell now for Oklahoma City. This is stupid.
You were doing it anyway.
When I hear these
you were doing it anyway.
I'm surprised at you.
You were doing it anyway.
Nick, you're going to put him over Willis?
He's also 6'1".
Yes.
Go ahead, Win.
He's 6'1".
He's also 6'1".
He's 6'1". He's damn near.
He was outplayed by Halliburton last year in a conference semifinal.
Not this year.
Not this year. Last year he was outplayed
Not this year.
Halliburton was better.
Not this year.
Clyde outplayed Jerry West.
Hold on. Even you have, first of all, don't give me, listen, see, don't make me disrespect the Silhouette, who I love, God rest his soul, wonderful executive, wonderful basketball dude. Went to 9 NBA finals, won 1. Stop.
He lost to Celtics.
Wait a minute. Time out. You lost 8 out of 9. You lost 8 out of 9. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line, all I'm trying to say to you is this. I'm not taking anything away from the great Jerry West. I didn't sit up there and say that all of a sudden Jalen Brunson is the second coming of Michael Jordan. What I said was, as it pertains to the New York Knicks and the road traveled to prosperity and what this dude at 6'1" has done for the New York Knicks franchise, if he closes the deal, if this brother closes the deal and plays the way that he has been playing, and the New York Knicks win the championship, he is the greatest Knick of all time. No disrespect to anybody else that's on that list. He goes, and by the way, respectfully, love Patrick Ewing. Appreciate you, my brother. You know that. But Patrick Ewing is not in this conversation if we're talking about Jalen Brunson winning the championship. You can't do that.
Michael Jordan.
We're talking about.
I mean, Michael,
And Elijah
Brunson playing Michael Jordan in the postseason. I must have missed it.
I'm sorry to leave Wendy out of the conversation. Let me say, Doggy, let me
I'm
ask
sorry
you.
too, because I love the guy. But go ahead.
No, hold on. Let me ask you this question, Doggy. Now, you were doing Mike and the Mad Dog Talk Radio back then. You know, y'all had the #1 show in the country. No. Listen to me. Game 7 in Houston.
Hey, blame it on
in
Starks.
94.
Yeah, blame it on Starks.
No, in 94.
I was there.
Who you had winning the game?
Yep.
Who you had winning the game?
I thought you.
The Knicks were right there. Ewan was on the court. You had 2 opportunities to close, and you didn't. Jalen Brunson delivers a chip to New York City, and you think he gets to defer to Ewan? Please. You better sit down. Stay sitting down. It's nothing to discuss. The only person that's debatable is Clyde Frazier, and even that ain't gonna do it.
Okay.
I don't agree with Stephen A.
No, I'm sorry. Hey,
Oh, listen, I'm just trying to remove the.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nzo. I'll let you speak first, but I'll probably back you up on a lot of what you said.
No.
It's not just because it's Nzo, because I know that's what you're thinking, Dan. You're like, it's just.
I know Danny's like
an echo chamber here.
Yeah, 2 months we haven't streaming. He's back on that Nzo shit, right? No, I get it, Danny.
No, but you guys talking about wait, really quick. You talk about flopping in the texts and stuff between us. You guys both accused me back and forth. Like, oh, you're on his side. Oh, you're on his side. It's like, well, I'm just a flopping fish here. That's all I am.
Okay, so here's the thing that I'll say. Patrick Ewing's history with the New York Knicks is a lot longer, and I think he's had pretty good stats for Patrick Ewing as a Knick. I don't put him ahead of Patrick Ewing because, one, like he said, like Mad Dog said, they went up against Jordan. Nobody was beating Jordan when it came to the finals, you know what I mean? Or get into the finals when Jordan was in his prime. And I hate to say it because I was cheering for the Knicks at those times because I couldn't stand Michael Jordan. But at the end of the day, this is what I have a problem with Stephen A. And you can go back and look. He was dissing Jalen Brunson when the Knicks were going for him. He was dissing him. Jalen Brunson will never bring the Knicks a championship.
Oh, he said it. He said it.
Yeah.
He said because he wanted Kyrie and Durant.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And look how that would have worked out. You know what I mean? So Jalen Brunson is good, 100%. But one thing, and this is another thing I want to say is, and we all do it, right? Championships mean a lot when it comes to greatness and stuff like that, but it's not the end all to be all. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's gonna bring a championship to New York if they win. That's great, but I think he still needs to do a lot more for me to put him ahead of Patrick Ewing. I think Patrick Ewing is one of the best Knicks, to be honest with you. But I never seen Willis Reed or these other guys. But from what I've seen, yeah.
If you going, Chris?
I can, or you can go. I don't. Go ahead.
If you come from a statistical point of view, the Willis Reed, another guy that won 2 rings, maybe not ahead of them. I've definitely put him ahead of Patrick Ewing, and this is why. If he brings a chip, like Stephen A. says, this guy took $100 million less. Who does that now? $100 million less to build his team. Yeah. So he got sacrificed. Another thing. Go ahead.
It's $100 million less in today's economy. And think about what Patrick Ewing was doing, what he was doing for. Think about what the other guys were doing, what they were doing for. Dude, they didn't make this type of money back then. $100 million less, I get it. That's great. You did it to win. You did it to bring people there. That still doesn't mean he's not making money. He's making plenty of money. I don't think that means anything, especially today where people get overpaid all the time anyways. It's like, okay, so you took $100 million less. That could mean he's taking $100 million less than being overpaid. So therefore, now maybe he's getting paid exactly what he's worth. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there because it's like, I don't think that means anything. It means something right now, but that's because there's exorbitant and crazy numbers out there that people get paid.
But if you get a chance to make $100 million, you gonna turn that down?
It depends, though. What do you?
right reasons.
And that's why I say, like, it depends though. What's more important to you, making that money or your legacy and winning a championship, right? Because Tim Duncan has taken pay cuts many times to make sure that the Spurs were able to keep Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili.
We get into that. I'm just saying it with the way the ego is, or it portrays to be in sports. And I give you a prime example. LeBron James is up to get $50 million.
I was just going to bring that up too. Yeah,
he ain't trying to do nothing, and LeBron James is a billionaire. He ain't trying to do nothing.
That's where I have a problem with LeBron James, right? Because if you want to talk about legacy and stuff like that, at this point in your career, you're not the number one focus on that Lakers team. It's Luka. And if you want to build a championship or you want to win one final championship before you go, then you need to take a pay cut so that the Lakers can build a team around you. When you're taking that whole amount of money and you're taking more than half of the salary cap, they're not going to build a good team around you. And you're not. And now you got to worry about OKC and San Antonio, Minnesota, maybe, depending on what they do. Still got Denver. Like, if you're not building a team around you, you're going to be out, and that's going to ruin his legacy too, because people are going to be saying, "Oh, look, LeBron James can't even make the playoffs now." You know what I mean? So yeah, you take that pay cut.
If and LeBron James is a unicorn, I would give him that. There are one or two unicorns in every sport. He does not legitimately need the money.
Agreed.
Now, this is a first or second, third year, but Jalen Brunson's 4 years. I don't know. I ain't counting nobody's pockets, but a 4-year person ain't getting these max contracts like the 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever. But LeBron James, out of anybody in the NBA, does not need that money. If he wants to try and catch up with Michael Jordan, let's say in championships, just like what Alonzo said, man, I don't need his money. I'll take the league minimum is $3 million.
100.
Y'all go out there, y'all get me somebody. Whatever y'all want my input, I do it. If you want to try and catch up, because to a lot of people mind, he ain't gonna catch up. In my mind, he ain't gonna catch up. I don't care if he scored 10 million points. It ain't gonna affect it in my mind. But I'm only one person. But to get back to the New York Knicks thing, I think it's important. Maybe not as important. Chris don't think it's important, but he gave up $100 million to try and improve his team. Each year, like Stephen A. said, he went one step higher. He improved their overall record the first season. Second season, he got to the playoffs. Third season, he got to the Eastern County playoffs, and this year he got to the finals. So he is improving every year. If he wins that championship, I think he is better than Patrick Ewing. I can't say the other two because, like Lonzo said, I never seen them play. Don't really know their history. I know of them, but I really haven't seen them play even on tips. But if I do all that, I bring a championship, then just by stats alone, maybe not notoriety because he's not as famous as Patrick Ewing, but Patrick Ewing got to take him out. He got to drop a spot down.
So one thing I'll say before I let Chris go is that we got to remember it's a team game. You know what I mean? So it's not just him that made it to the NBA finals. It's just everybody else on the team. And they built a good team around him, right? So you got to give credit to that too as well. But I do think he could become the best Knick. I just think he needs to do a little bit more. I mean, it needs to be in that uniform a little bit longer. That's all. Chris, go ahead.
Again, I think that the whole idea of this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, Ewing didn't win a championship, but again, they bring up the point. He went against a wall that the whole NBA went up against. And if you're going to sit there and take away from teams that had great players on it, because they couldn't get past Jordan and that Bulls team. That, again, going back to talking about money and stuff, that team still figured out how to build a team around Jordan. And yes, he was a part of the reason why he started working with people, because he didn't want to work with people. He was I can do this myself. And then he was sat down and said, listen, which one do
Yeah,
you want?
Phil
Do you
Jackson.
want
Yeah, absolutely.
championships or do you want notoriety? And he got both because he listened. Now, here's the thing. Everybody in the 90s that went up against the Bulls, I mean, this is still talking about Bird was going still. Johnson was still going. And, yeah, I mean, there's tons of them. Are we going to say that they're not as great because they couldn't get past him? I don't think that's fair. Now, I'm not saying that it's an absolute that he's better than Ewing, but I mean, I think Ewing is like probably the second best Nick.
New York Nick.
I think the first was probably Walt Frazier.
That's a good name.
I think that you got, and then you got, I mean, we talked about the others right there. You got Jalen Brunson. That's been pretty good in the past. I mean, I'm sorry, no, not Dave Brashear. It was a Brashear.
Brashear, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. No, and then Earl Malone. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of names out there. Now, yes, it may get there, but this one championship ain't going to make it that. Because there's no team out there like the Bulls. It just isn't right now. I don't care what you think about OKC. I don't think they're going to get past them if OKC makes it. I mean, and that's not a done deal yet. That's tonight.
Don't be jinxing nothing tonight, Chris. All right, I don't want to hear nothing.
I'm not saying no. All I'm saying is it's not a done deal that OKC is in, and it's 100%. We don't know yet. Yet these guys are talking like it's a done deal, and that's who they're going up against. And it's like so. And I don't mean anything against the Spurs here, Nzo, but here's the thing. The Spurs may win tonight, and if they win tonight, then people are going to say, well, that wasn't OKC, so we don't know how good he was. Was that fair to him then? No, it isn't. So, again, we don't even know what this is going to be, and I don't think that the Eastern Conference is really – they're still not up to par with the West. I mean, so I don't know. It just seems funny that they're talking like this before it's even there.
I agree with what you're saying, but the one thing you're missing, Stephen has said this several times. If they win,
even then, no, not yet. I'm not saying he won't be.
Chris, people are saying
not yet.
People are saying at the second time that Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl that he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, but he wasn't though.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't think Mr. Knight was bucking that.
He wasn't. He wasn't. We already know that.
No. Here's the thing. He still has things to do. If you're going to put it out there, I don't put him over Montana. I hate
Tom Brady.
But he's not over Brady yet, and it's not because how many he won. It's not about how many yards he's got. It's none of that stuff. It's just he's not there yet.
I'm going to give you a perfect example.
But that's the thing. We're giving this to a guy that hasn't even won a championship, and even then, I don't think it counts because you didn't go up against the Bulls. And again, it's hard to quantify because you can't take this team and put it in the 90s.
I don't think it's hard to quantify at all. He's not saying he's the greatest. He's saying he's the greatest person.
I'm not saying greatest. I mean greatest Nick. He's just not.
How many times have you seen people say who's the greatest Laker or who's the greatest Chief? Right now, how long has Patrick Mahomes been in the NFL? 6 years, maybe?
Something like that.
If someone just say who is right now at this point, who is the greatest Chief? But I guarantee you Patrick Mahomes will win over Patrick Mahomes and what's the other guy that played with him?
Kelsey.
Maybe there's some people that would argue about the fact that there's other players.
Here's the thing that I'll say. Here's the thing that I'll say, and I know you don't like Gil, Danny, but he makes a good point, right? No matter how much we argue about who the greatest is, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's LeBron James, whether it's Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, we can never quantify that. Quantify? Whatever the word is. Yeah. But we can't do that because we will never be able to see them play each other, right? So everything we doing is just speculation. You know what I mean? We can put numbers, we can put championships. You know, some people will put the numbers. Yeah, some people put the numbers higher than the championship. Some people put the championships higher than the numbers. So we can never really say. At the end of the day, it's our opinions, right? We can never have any facts as to whether Brady's better than Patrick Mahomes or Jordan is better than LeBron James. And I'll even say this. Let's say Wemby does win the championship this year, right? Let's say they go to finals, they win the championship. People are going to be asking the question, is he better than Tim Duncan? Not yet. Does he have potential to be better than Tim Duncan? Absolutely. But I think they still got a lot more to prove, these young guys, before I'm going to put them ahead of veterans who've had like 20 years. You know what I mean? What if Jalen Brunson never wins a championship again, gets hurt, and he never plays another, like, you know, he only plays 5 years in the NBA, right?
Yeah,
then are we going to have to rethink that?
But those are measuring sticks that we all use. And I'll give you a prime example in football. I think that Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. You don't think he's that great quarterback. He won one championship, but there have been several others less than him that's going to be put higher up on people top 10 list, so to speak, because they win. Like I think,
as for example, Dan Marino. People put Dan Marino higher than they do Aaron Rodgers, right? Dan Marino never won a championship. Oh, your mic went out, Danny. Yeah.
I think that, again, you can bring the stats out, you can bring championships out, you can do all that. One of the hardest things is to take somebody from an earlier time and put them against a new person. I mean, the closest I think we've ever come to the conversation of the GOAT and being able to quantify two players is probably Mahomes and Brady. And Brady won both of those. Let's just be honest. Or three of them, I guess, whatever, how many times they played. I think he won every one of them. And so I guess, you know, if you go by that, then that means that Brady is the GOAT, which I don't agree with, you know that. But I mean, I'll admit, if you want to take that metric, it's the best metric we have out there where we can take two players, except for maybe LeBron James, if you want to count him into this, and then maybe Wemby and all those other ones, if LeBron ever gets there. We just went through that conversation. But again, it's hard. And the thing is to say it now that if he wins this championship, he is a ridiculous thought, because he has barely been in, and he still has to show he can continuously do it. Ewing showed that their team continuously could get to that level of a play. The problem was they kept going up against Jordan, and the other players continuously did this. Yes, he has improved. Yes, he has gotten the Knicks back into a position where they're now possibly going to go to the championship. Those are metrics to become talked about within those people, but it is not just because he wins a championship the reason why you are all of a sudden number one in that team for the history of the team. That is not an argument you can make about things. You can try, but it does not make sense in the whole way that you would metric that against somebody like Ewing, who played how many years? Again, I think it's a ridiculous thought. I see why people want to talk about it.
There are some tools in the metrics that's going to automatically disqualify you. If, for instance, one part of the metric is, eye test. One part of the metric people use is how many MVPs. Another metric is how many final MVPs, how many defense, shooting average, 3-point, field goal. There are certain metrics that are going to automatically move the slate backwards and forward. All I'm saying in this particular argument is that I think if he wins, Jalen Brunson wins this, he will be put ahead of Patrick Ewing in my book by one metric, that he actually won the championship. That's the only thing I'm saying. All that other stuff, we on the same page. I'm just saying on my list of these four people that they're talking about, he will be slightly above Patrick Ewing because, Patrick Ewing went through a buzzsaw and wasn't able to completely survive it. But this guy consistently improved every year. He took him to the championship the fourth year. He took a pay cut, which may be not important to you, and he's constantly improved. So in that case, he would be ahead of Patrick Ewing. The other two, I don't know enough to make an informed, intelligent decision to say he'd be better than those two.
So here's the thing, and I like that you brought the metrics up too, Danny, because and I know a lot of people like to use the metrics too, but we got to remember The NBA today is a totally different game than the NBA back then. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You cannot touch these guys at all, right? Back in the day, you had hand checking, right? You were fouling hards and stuff like that. Now you can barely touch these guys. He's a point guard, right? So he gets the best benefit of the doubt. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, not to mention that, but it's all about offense these days. There's no defense, hardly any. I mean,
100%.
occasionally you get a block or two.
Yeah,
no,
defense sucks.
They would beat the crap out of each other. And now let's talk about the 70s, early 80s. These guys threw punches at each other on the freaking court. Today, if you throw an elbow the wrong way, you might be out for the game. You might be out for 3 weeks. You don't know. So they're all like, oh, let that guy go. He's halfway to the basket now, and they walk. I mean, again, how many steps do these guys
traveling? Yeah, traveling is big.
Those things right there also play a big part in
flopping.
It's trumped up.
Like back in the day, we never worried about flopping.
Why are y'all making me defend this NBA?
I don't know.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this.
Okay, I want to hear this.
I agree with y'all saying 100%, and I also can tell you this flopping drives me crazy. But the rules have changed in all of these sports, and these guys are playing within the rules, what the rules dictate. So you can't blame a player for capitalizing on the rules. Like I tell Nzo several times this week, SGA makes me sick. He is worse than doggone James Harden,
LeBron James. Yeah.
I mean, every shot he makes, he's on the floor. I'm like, you must be weigh 100 pounds. But I hate that. But if you listen to Jamal Crawford and Reggie Miller, I listen to the commentators. They say that his coaches teach him that because now the worst stat they ever made in the NBA is PER. I hate that. I hate PER. They are worried about how efficient that they play. So the more times and more attempts to get a free throw line, that makes their PER higher, and it's killing the game. So again, I agree with y'all that the NBA 20 years was a much tougher place to play in, but these guys are playing within the rules and they capitalize on the rules. So you can't hold that against them if the rules allow ABC 1, 2, 3.
So here's the thing. I agree with you, but there's a difference between and because I think one of them, and I have to find the clip. I think it was Antonio Daniels used to play for the Spurs. He mentioned something that made a lot of sense to me, right? So he said, when it comes to flopping, and this is not the SGA, right? Shaq, a big guy, would have to embellish the hits because if you hit him normally, it's like nothing, right? So if he has to go to the line, he kind of has to embellish the fact that he got hit harder than he probably did, right? Same with LeBron James. Like, these guys are like freak of natures, so they kind of have to embellish. That's not a problem. The problem is when you're like SGA and James Harden, when you're pretending to get hit and you don't. You know what I mean? LeBron James you can go watch like an hour video on YouTube of LeBron James just like guy puts his arm up and LeBron James goes like this. And then when they zoom in, he never even touched LeBron James. That's the problem, right? The flopping or stuff when you're going into the lane, getting hit, whatever. I don't have an issue with that because you may need to embellish, especially if you have like great balance, you're stronger or whatever, right? So for example, like Wemby, they grab him, they hold him. Like if you watch some of these games, like they're literally grabbing on his arm while he's trying to get a rebound. If he embellishes those calls, those things, he's going to get the call. He hasn't done that yet, right? But if he does that, he's going to get the call. Fact that he's big, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, Wemby's big, so we'll let it slide because he's a big guy and stuff like that. And I think that's where the issue comes in with the flopping and stuff like that.
So here's the thing. I mean, there's a point to be said about you can't blame the players for the way the game is today.
100%.
But the problem I have with that statement then is this. With the less physical, less defensive, less competitive sport, that it's not just basketball, it's football, Hockey, not exactly completely, but it's definitely different.
Soccer is the worst.
I'm sorry. Yeah, soccer. I mean, there's lots of stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't blame the player, but I think that just takes you out of the running for being the greatest of all time. I mean, I just think, and I know I'm saying that with people like, Mahomes playing. But I kind of think that the more rules they make to make your job easier, the harder it is to defend your ability compared to somebody that got their ass handed to them. And that's basketball, that's football, that's even baseball. I mean, again, I think one of the first things I ever heard in the past few years that really got me starting to think that way was George Brett from Kansas City Royals. One of the best Kansas City Royals baseball players, was talking about watching a game, and he saw them all come out, and Royals players were kind of high-fiving and hugging some New York Yankees players after a game or something. And he said, you know what? I still to this day, I hate every Yankee I ever played against. And I would never shake their hand unless it was forced because it was after a game, or I would never high-five them. I'd never call them up and say, hey, man, how you doing after this 30 years? He says, I still hate those guys. And nowadays, there's this camaraderie, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but those people hated each other. They hated that team. There were real rivalries. The Chiefs and the Raiders are not a rivalry like they used to be. The Broncos and these teams, they're not the rivalries they used to be. There is no emotion in the game anymore. And it's almost like they're just going through the motions. So therefore, how can we call these people the greatest of all time? There's nothing behind it.
And there's something I want to say about that too, because I'm surprised, Danny, this is why I'm saying, I get it. It's a San Antonio thing, right? But I'm surprised you don't like Wemby more than you do, because he is bringing that back to the game. He's like, I don't want to be friends with anybody on these opposite teams. I want to beat them. You know what I mean? And that's the mentality that Michael Jordan had, right? Michael Jordan would have never teamed up with Larry Bird or Patrick Ewing or any of these guys. He would have never done anything like that, right? Kobe Bryant too.
Go ahead. Did it for Olympics.
Okay. That's different.
You hear the stories about how they just, they were there.
So competitive. Yeah, they were competitive even in practices. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get that. Michael Jordan would have never done anything like that. That's why I'm surprised. I guess if you watch him more, you'll see what I'm talking about. But Wemby is he has that dog in him, bro. I'll say this: Jalen Bronson doesn't flop. Just so we know.
I don't hate Wemby. I see what you're talking about. Only reason I don't want win wings, I want to win $50 from you. That's what you I ain't got a problem with him. But
tonight.
do some pushbacks on some of these points I make. The reason why Chris was saying something, I'm kind of paraphrasing, make sure I'm correct what he said, is that because the game is so soft now, more or less, you don't think that can hold these individuals to be called GOATs. Are you saying something along those lines? Did I understand that correctly?
In a paraphrased way, that is and I'm not saying that I fully believe that. I just think the more and more we go down a road where you literally are letting them, again, think about the fact that we get these high scoring games because there's no defense, because exactly what Nzo was talking about. You can't block because you're afraid you're going to get hit or you're afraid they're going to call you a foul on you. They've taken so much away from the game that allows it to be the game it used to be. Okay. And again, I understand you can't blame that on that player, but I still don't think that means that the player is forgiven for playing during that era.
Okay. I'm going to push back on that. Society as a whole wants the game to be speed up. They said that. The games have been too long. So what the NBA and what these other sports trying to do is do things to make the game faster. One of the things they do is the shot clock. If you don't get it back in a certain time, it cuts it in half. You got 14 seconds to shoot in the NBA.
14 seconds, yeah.
Now, also, we all have said this, that now athletes are faster, stronger, more conditioned, better dietitian in the weight room. If they play now with a faster, stronger, more aggressive player they did 20 years ago, people be getting killed. More so, and more so they are now. It's a good thing that they put the concussion thing in because back then these fools played through it. And a lot of them had those brain injuries, dying, having seizures, all kind of crazy stuff. So there's some way you're gonna have to safeguard these games, especially in the
I agree.
football and the basketball. And the third thing is I disagree about the competition because all three of us are competitive. If we playing some kind of game, we want to win. I also want to win. I want to win. Main thing we make those picks. But we still can talk to each other and still laugh and cut. But when doing the fight of it in fantasy football and doing those picks, Danny is trying to win. And I know Chris is trying to win. Okay. So you said that baseball player said he hated them. I don't hate nobody, but I still got the competitive spirit. Still, if you got the true competitive spirit, I want to win. I want to beat Chris. I want to beat Nzo. But at the end of the game, I can talk some junk to you. Hey, I beat your butt fair and square. Guess what? They do that same thing. Now, back then, I guess it was a different era, different time. You know, that Magic couldn't stand Bird and vice versa. That's all well and good. But I don't hold that against them now because when I get on that field, or I get on that court, you ain't my friend. I'm about to kick your butt. You're going to kick my butt. I don't have to get at you.
Hold on. I agree with you, Danny. 100%. I agree with you, right? But I think there's still this element of that's my friend now, right? Like when LeBron James playing Carmelo Anthony and stuff like that. Oh, we friends, we boys, we hang out. Michael Jordan and the guys in the past were able to separate that. You know what I mean? Like they still going hard. I don't think a lot of these guys go as hard as they do when they're playing their friend. Now, maybe playoff time basketball is different, but I think during the regular season, like they don't go as hard as they should. Like Michael Jordan was going to embarrass Charles Barkley on a regular basis and then go play golf with him after the game. And I don't think people have that mentality as much anymore. That's all I think.
The other thing also is, and this might be football, but man, when somebody came and sacked a quarterback, they'd spike them with their, with their spikes. They'd step on their leg. They do so, dude. That's not because you like that guy. You're doing that because you're trying to do everything you can to beat him. And yes, I understand the competitive spirit, the want to win is still there. But the thing is hatred played a big portion.
100%. Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah.
And again, you saw people in football like Bill Romanowski, man. Bill Romanowski was nasty.
They put hits on players and shit back in the day. You know what I mean?
And people knew they were doing that stuff. And nothing happened. What happened when the Saints got accused and supposedly found out for putting hits on players? What happened? The whole damn team, the coach, people got suspended.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like you can't. I don't know. Again, I can't say that that's a definite reason. I just think that takes a lot away from the players. I don't say that you have to have the hate in it. I just don't think there's physicality in half these things now. I mean, I love Patrick Mahomes' play. I love how he can almost be sacked and kind of just find a player open. But man, that's because that guy's probably holding back just a little because he's like, I know this guy's going to throw this ball, and if I hit him right after he throws that ball, I got a 15+ yard penalty coming because I roughed the passer. And I like I said, I love how Patrick Mahomes does it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee more often than not, somebody's holding back from knocking him on his ass, thinking he's going to get that ball out of his hand right when I show up, and I'm going to get called for a foul. And that's in everybody's head. And that's the game. That's what the games have done to players nowadays. They have led them into this belief that if I do this, I better make damn sure I'm there on time, and I'm damn sure that it's perfectly handled, because if not, I get a penalty. I go back. My coach says, why the hell did you even do that?
And I'll tell you this, regardless of what happens tonight, we are watching a rivalry with San Antonio and OKC, right? Because first off, both of these teams are young and they're going to be together for years. And I could see this being like a Lakers San Antonio back in the day, where one could win a chip one year and then the next year the other team wins a chip. I could see something like that happening, right? But Wemby does not like Chet. and he does not like the OKC Thunder. And I'm 100% sure Chet don't like Wemby, and the Thunder don't like the Spurs. So we're seeing a rivalry in the making here right now, and that's what I'm interested in, like rivalries.
Minnesota and Denver are coming too.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Ant-Man gets some help. Okay.
Absolutely.
Man, we still 2 minutes with that topic. Next topic.
That was a good one though, Danny. I liked it.
Yeah. GOAT. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the four main names I'm about to name now is the four people that they consider to be in the GOAT conversation. First one is Kareem. Second one is Jordan. Third is Kobe. Fourth is LeBron. Are we all in agreement on that?
Tim Duncan, but yeah, we're all in agreement.
That's mainly.
I think if you're gonna expand,
maybe not our GOAT, but that's what the four names are thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I looked this up today. How many times you think that Kareem was swept in any other playoffs? How many times you think Jordan was swept in any of the playoffs? How many times Kobe swept? How many times LeBron
like
swept?
Any series?
Any playoff series. The
okay.
whole NBA
so I'm 100% sure that LeBron was swept 2 or 3 times.
4
times? Okay. He was swept 4 times. Michael Jordan was probably never.
Twice.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pistons?
The Celtics. 86, 87. He was swept both times. 86, 87.
Which years?
86, 87.
Yeah,
and both times by the Celtics?
Early on.
Yep.
Okay. So early on in his career. But yeah. But you said Kobe. Oh, Kobe was definitely swept. He was swept from the Spurs. That I remember. I'll give Kobe 3.
That's correct.
3.
He was swept in 88 by Utah, 99 by Spurs, and 2011 by Dallas.
Okay. Yeah. So
Kareem was I
never.
think he was 3 times.
I'm gonna say never.
No, 3 times.
Yeah. 3 times too? Okay.
Back 3 times in a row, all by the Celtics. 1970, 71, 72.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Jordan was 2, Kareem 3, Kobe 3. LeBron James was swept 4 times. And he was swept once in each decade that he's played.
Mm-hmm.
2007, he was swept by the Spurs. 2018 by Golden State. 2023 by Denver. And this year by OKC.
So I'll say this. Two of those LeBron sweeps, his team was injured, right? So the first one, Kyrie and Kevin Love did not play in that finals. Golden State. So he had injuries. And I think we got to account for that too when it comes to talking about sweeping, because I don't care who you are. If you don't have your top players on a team and the other team is healthy, you're going to lose.
I disagree with that. And this is why. Because Philadelphia 76 was greatly overmatched by the Lakers. But O'Boy was able to get 1 win.
Who?
Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
1 win in that series.
Yeah.
I ain't saying get beat and swept. That's a totally different thing. If you consider a GOAT or a great, I think you can get 1 win. All your members are not.
I mean, it's possible, but it depends on. Okay, so it also depends on what team you have around you, right? For example, that first one with LeBron James in 2000, like, go look at the roster of that team. There was no way.
Look at the roster with the Sixers. I can't remember nobody but Allen Iverson.
They had a pretty. Yeah, I know they had
That was prime Kobe and prime Shaq. Now.
Mm-hmm. But 76ers had a good team that year. They had Allen Iverson.
Let me see.
Ooh, right now. I can't remember.
What year was that?
That was
2001 or 2000? 2001 or something like that.
2001?
Yeah, something like that.
Sixers.
Yeah, that's it.
Looking it up
Eric
right now.
Slow, Mutombo. Yeah, they had a pretty decent team.
It was Eric Snow, Lynch, Hill, Mutombo, and
Yeah, they had a
Iverson.
good
That was
team.
their starting lineup. Then they had McKee,
Eric McKee, he was
Harpring,
good.
All I know
Yeah.
is Mutombo and who? Iverson and who? Eric Snow.
Eric Snow. Yeah.
Lynch,
Aaron McKee.
Scrub.
Eric Snow was not a
Aaron
scrub.
McKee.
No, he wasn't a scrub.
No.
He was a good shooter. Right? But
He
yes,
was-
Allen
McKee
Iverson
was-
did. Go ahead.
McKee was given 6th man of the year in 2001.
Yeah. And if you go,
Yeah.
because I remember just recently, maybe about a month ago, they were not even a couple weeks ago, they were talking about that on Shaq, Kobe, and Shaq, Charles, and what's the other guy, Kenny Smith, right? And they were talking about, he was like, oh, wait, you only won one game. He said you didn't sweep the finals, and he was Shaq said, yeah, Allen Iverson. That's all he said. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a dog back then. I agree that. But I don't think anybody really considers Allen Iverson a GOAT, though. Like, he's not even close to being in any of the GOAT's conversations.
Because he never won a championship. You can't be in the GOAT championship in the conversation. You never won a championship.
I guess. I could see that. I could see that.
I think he could be like the GOAT of point guards. If you break down by positions, he top 5.
Yeah, I think you have to be a GOAT if you considered a GOAT.
If you're in the GOAT conversation, you got to win multiple championships.
But with that list you said, I would put, and I know you guys will probably say it's blasphemy, but I'd probably put Tim Duncan ahead of Kareem.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would. You got to remember, man.
I wouldn't, because Kareem never lost in high school. He won in college, and that transferred to 5 championships. I think 6 MVPs in professionals. So that, I don't know.
No,
I ain't saying it ain't a good topic, but I don't know.
No, very good player, 100%. But that's the reason why I think I know MVPs and stuff kind of different back then to the basketball, right? But I'm not going to put that again. The only thing I would say is that even though Tim Duncan he won 5, right? He won 5 rings, but he's never missed the playoffs in 20 years of his playing. There's not many players out there that can actually say that they never missed the playoffs. And to be a star player on the team and never miss the playoffs in your whole career, that's saying something, man. I don't think a lot of people give that enough credit.
Yeah, but I don't think Jordan never missed it in his career.
Well,
I think he did. I think he did. I think he did. Yeah, not the second part. Yeah. LeBron's missed the playoffs. He missed the playoffs a couple years ago with the Lakers.
You said playoff games, right?
No, I said never missed the playoffs.
So every year he played in
NBA. Every year he went to the playoffs. Yes,
the final playoffs,
20 straight years, not the finals, the playoffs, right?
Okay.
Huh? 20 straight years Tim Duncan has been in the playoffs. Has he won? No, he's had first round knockouts, right? The Suns beat him one time in the first round, right? Ginobili was injured, whatever. So I don't say nothing, because I use the injuries slightly in a way, you know what I mean? Because it's part of the game, but I can understand you not winning if you're not injured, but it is a part of the game, right? It happens, So, but yeah, he's never once missed the playoffs. That's, and I don't think people talk about that enough.
It is. Listen, Tim Duncan was a great player, and I'm not saying. I think that if you go and you expand on what Danny said, top 4 names possibly are the ones we're talking about. He's definitely in there somewhere between 5 and 10. And I'm not saying you can't make an argument that he's in the top 4, maybe even the top 3. I can't say you can't make the argument. But I maybe it's just we just don't think of it like that because he quietly did it. I mean, if anything, Tim Duncan was not bombastic about what he did. He just he's like, I'm gonna work. Here I go, punch in, punch out. I did my job. And there's something to be said about that. There is something to be said about his steadfastness to, as far as I know, he stayed on the Spurs the whole time too, didn't he?
Yeah.
He never
Yeah.
traded off. Yeah, that's what it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that takes a lot. I mean, especially as long of a career as he had. I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
Jordan, even though he retired, he went to a different team afterwards. He had two teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you think about that. One team, playoffs a lot. I mean, you got a point. I mean, there's an argument for him.
Definitely. I that's why I think a lot of people don't give him as much credit as he should, but there is an argument for him being at least in the top 5. 100%. 100%. I put him as the number 1 because he's my GOAT, but is he really the GOAT? No, I'd still probably give that to Jordan.
I definitely think Tim Duncan is the GOAT of power forwards.
Yeah, 100%. That's no doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me tell you another reason why I have so much dislike
because of Rich Paul.
Yes,
I don't like Rich Paul either.
People like Rich Paul, Shannon, and that doggone Nick Wright. They say some of the silliest stuff. And this thing about playoff Rich Paul said why LeBron James isn't selfish and why Kobe and Jordan is selfish is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life.
It probably is 100%.
And I thank God that what's the boy with the crazy hats? Cam Newton called him out on this. Y'all heard him say because they got 2 parents in the house. You heard that?
Wait, what?
Rich Paul says Kobe and Jordan are selfish players because they had 2 parents home and LeBron James didn't. I'll play it for you.
Okay, now you're talking. Now that's where you bring up the fact of
you're an idiot.
How can you? How the hell is that the player's fault?
I'm gonna let you listen.
How the hell? Like what? Jordan and Kobe should have been looking at his parents.
Yeah, that's
saying,
stupid.
I need one of you guys to kick rocks and get the hell out of here.
This is some stupid stuff that some of these LeBron James fans.
I know, but
saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's stupid. It's dumb.
Here we go.
I can't believe he said that shit.
Check this out. Let's make it a little bit deeper. I have something for this. It's a lot deeper. When you say he didn't have it, right? When you look at Michael grew up with a mom and a dad in his household. When you look at Kobe grew up with a mom and dad in his household. When you look at LeBron's mom was 16 when she had him as a child. Now, he spent a lot of time by himself, right? He did not develop. Taking the last shot over 3 people is a selfish gene. That don't make you having killer instinct.
Press pause right there. Somebody gotta tell Richard, brother. Hey, Richard, Mr. Rich.
I know you don't like Cam. I like Cam, bro. I like Cam.
I love Cam on this because Cam said he's pretty much an idiot. This fool gonna say because he had 2 parents in the house. That made him selfish. And LeBron James only had 1 parent and he didn't.
I swear. Okay, so listen. And we talked about it earlier, right? Where we talked about you have people out there, and I think it's a lot of people, especially younger generations, who are actually saying LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. And some of them have arguments that are feasible. Now, is it possible that the arguments are correct or whatever? No, but I can see that being an argument as to why you're using LeBron but you saying something about him having 2 parents, that's not an argument, right? And I'll say this because I know you guys used to use it a lot where you would talk about, well, Michael Jordan had the intangibles. Intangibles is not an argument to me. That is not an argument to put him in the GOAT. You want to use numbers, you want to use championships, whatever. You want to use clutch, killer instinct, and all of that, 100%. But when you're like intangibles, it's part of it. But I mean, LeBron has some of those intangibles too. You know what I mean? Like,
is he clutch in some positions? He is. Most time, this is the main thing that makes me say the GOAT thing with LeBron. If I want to see my grandmother's dead, if there's a chance it's some kind of supernatural thing that.
Oh, your mic went out, Danny. Your mic went out. But yeah, so at the end of the day, like Michael is the GOAT. There's no doubt about it, right? There's no doubt about it. Yes, I'm saying it on this fucking stream. Don't clip me.
See, you're a bigger man than I am. There on so because you know one word I would never say. One
Tom
phrase
Brady's
I would
the
never
GOAT.
say.
Exactly. Tom Brady's the GOAT. I know.
I will die on the hill. He is not.
You know what it is?
It's not even that I go for. It's not that I even go for Mahomes. It's a different player. You know.
Yeah. You know what it is, Chris?
Say you had to win some money and you get a 2-minute drill. Who you gonna choose? I mean, big money, Chris. Like life changing.
You want to know who? Joe Montana.
This guy. We got 2 names, bro. You know what I mean? You got 2 names. They ain't gonna say that.
I'm going with Tom Brady, boy. That 2-minute drill. That's gonna win 2 minute games.
I'm going with Tom Brady as well.
Don't let 2 minutes. You know, me. A lot of people say, whether you like him or not, Tom Brady is the NFL's Michael Jordan. That's gonna stop a lot of people from.
I agree. I
don't necessarily love him, but it's just the facts on that. But anyway, I ain't going to divert from that. This right here is what makes me so crazy when fans say, "But you got your own pick," and I know it's subjective, like you said. You're gonna like who you're gonna like. When you start making some crazy, obtuse statements like this, it just really makes me dig in even more. Like, you silly.
Absolutely. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people hate LeBron James is because some of their fans, it's the same way with the Dallas Cowboys, right? Y'all don't hate the team. You hate the freaking fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The fans are silly. The fans are crazy.
Exactly. And the fans talking all this crap all the time is what can make you hate a player even more when they're using stupid, and he's an LeBron James agent, so of course he's going to say that. But at the end of the day, you just proved how stupid he was. He just proved how stupid he was. If anybody didn't know he was stupid, you know he's an idiot for this comment right now. It makes no fucking sense. It does not matter whether he came from a 2-parent home, a 1-parent home, whether he was a fucking orphan. It doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with his game. And then to say, you know, LeBron James, you telling me LeBron James never taken a shot over 3 fucking people? Of course he has. He's done it many times. They all do it. They're the stars of the team. Kobe's done it. Michael Jordan done it. LeBron James has done it. It's a dumb argument. And I've watched a lot of LeBron games. I've seen him do that. I've seen him miss a lot of those shots, and I've seen him hit a lot of them as well, too. You know? It's like, if you don't want...
facts. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, one more thing I was just going to say. If you don't want to say LeBron James is the greatest, he's definitely number 2. If he ain't number 1, he's definitely number 2. And nothing's wrong with being number 2. And these guys act like, especially Rich Paul, he acts like it's a fucking huge thing not to be number 1 for LeBron James. And it's just dumb. It's dumb. Go ahead, Chris.
You know, we talk about a lot of things about how it's hard to take, the 2000s players against the 70s players. Talk about all this other stuff. It's not hard to look at it and say this. The players have nothing to do with their parents being there or not being there. And to say that 100%. That has anything to do with how a person changes. Listen, if both your parents are greedy and narcissistic, there's a good chance you're going to end up being greedy and narcissistic. I can't say that that's what Jordan's parents were like. I can't say that's what anybody's players are like. But to say that you have a kind-hearted, golden soul mother who had you at 16 does anything to make you a saint, it's the same argument. It doesn't matter. You could be the world's worst person in the world. It just doesn't work like that. And again, people, and I go back to my argument about Tim Duncan here. I think the reason why Tim Duncan isn't talked about more on the greats of all time, or up higher, I should say. He's talked there, but he's not talked about being great, is because he wasn't full on in your face, I am the guy. He just did it. And people, if you were a Spurs fan, you loved him for it. But LeBron, it's about LeBron. Look at what he did when he went down to the Heat. Look at what he did when he went to the Lakers. Look at what he did when he was a part of the Cavs. He went there and said, "These are the people. I'm in charge. I want these players, or I won't work with that guy." I mean, again, we don't absolutely know he's the guy behind the strings on that, but I'm leaning to think he is. So again, it's all about LeBron on these teams. And he isn't wrong for it, but don't say he's not selfish, or don't say he's not, Oh,
100%.
Don't say that. It makes no sense. It's a ridiculous argument to put out there.
100%. I think for you to be considered a GOAT, you have to be selfish in some kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be selfish in some kind of way. You have to say, no one is taking this last shot but me, right? I'm the best player on this team. I'm taking this shot.
And maybe that's where we start talking about those people like, Brady and Mahomes and Montana, that there's moments you hear about, or there's moments you watch when they're on the field or they're on the court where they say, fine, I'll just do it. I'm going to do it. Mahomes cracked his helmet because he ran into a defensive player and knocked him on his ass to get into the end zone during the playoffs, 2 years ago or whatever it was. Those moments are what people remember. That's why they're GOATs. And again, I say GOATs in plural because Tom Brady is one of the best players that's ever played NFL. You can't take that away from him.
Go ahead and say it, Chris.
He's not the GOAT. But again, the thing is that that's part of that, is that moment where you're like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to do it myself.
I want to revisit something I said earlier.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I said something earlier that you couldn't be a GOAT if you didn't win a championship. I think that's in some sports because the metrics change from baseball to football to basketball.
100.
Who do y'all think is the best baseball player of all time?
Ooh,
I've heard several. I've heard
Babe Ruth.
I've heard Barry Bonds.
The Barry Bonds, yeah.
I've heard Willie Mays. I've heard Hank Aaron.
Willie Mays is good. There's lots of different players out there. That's a tougher conversation, but you're also talking about a lot more people out there who've done it. It's an older game. A lot more people on the
Well, when you discuss baseball, the metrics are the stats. Runs on steals, hits, errors, all that kind of stuff. Basketball, same thing. Football, not so much, because everybody universally says that Barry Sanders is the GOAT, and he never won one championship.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right. 100%. And here's the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't understand that.
I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and I think, and quote me, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the hardest championship to win would probably be baseball.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I think consistently winning it 1 year, I think it's hard to put a string of
championships together. Yeah. 100%. So if that's the case, what would you say is the hardest championship to win? Think it's football?
It got to be baseball because you play more games. Baseball go 100 games a season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just that, you play it in.
Sometimes you play,
there's no getting away from. Well, it's not just that. You play it on average about 5 games a week. You get you get travel days, and you get one day a week. They try to get you up.
Sometimes they get the double hitters.
Where you're playing two right after the next one game is done, and you got to play them again right after that. That's crazy.
Then you have the fact that they're out there in 100-degree days, and it's day after day after day, and it's not just nowadays 2.5, 3 hour games. It is 8 a.m. out there batting practice. I mean, the one thing you don't know about baseball is before that starting pitcher throws the 100 pitches he throws during the game, he's practiced. He's done a bullpen set 100 pitches. He's throwing like 200-300 pitches a day. I mean, I get it. And again, I'm not saying that they're the best athletes out there, but it's very difficult to get consistency week in and week out. That's why you rarely see but maybe 3 or 4 teams in the MLB get over 100 wins.
One thing I said about baseball, you can't hide the fundamental of mechanics. On football,
No.
sometimes you can hide maybe not
Yes.
as good footwork or maybe not good hands.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can hide that.
Mhm.
Baseball, you can't hide it. Either you can
Yeah.
hit or
Or
you
you
can't hit.
can't.
Either you can
Mhm.
pitch or you can't pitch. Either you can catch or you can't catch. So it's I think mentally it's a little bit more tougher because you have to really work on your fundamentals in that particular game.
100%.
Another
And
one
some
too
of
I
these
say is soccer and doggone tennis.
soccer, yeah, soccer is one of those ones too. 100%. Soccer is one of those ones because, especially when it comes to World Cup, it's what, every 4 years? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So every 4 years someone's winning the World Cup, so I definitely think that too. NFL is a tough one too as well. You know what I mean? Because it's one and done. You get one game and you're out. Yeah, they do get banged up a lot too. So I
That's
think
true
NFL
too.
is one. I think NFL is one of them that's really hard to
I
get
think
to as
NFL,
well.
if you're fast and strong, that'll cover up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's ways you can cover up in the NFL team.
Especially
You know what I
speed.
mean? Right. And sometimes you only need like one good wide receiver. You know what I mean? You have a good running back. So yeah, I get that too. But
And then if you're slow, maybe not so athletic, if you got good fundamentals, because I think I remember correctly, Jerry Rice wasn't exceptionally fast, but his routes were impeccable. So if you
mhm,
get good
mhm.
routes, and I keep hearing Shannon Sharp talking about the route tree. If you learn the entire route tree and learn the mechanics, the fundamentals, then sometimes that can help cut down someone that may be more athletic than you are.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree.
All right. Last topic. This is one that I heard Nzo and Brian talking about earlier this morning on Rewind, and I went and pulled up the statistics.
All right, let's do it.
Tim Duncan head on head against Wemby. I did the first 2 years of Tim Duncan's career, the first 2 years of Wemby's career.
Mhm.
Now, the first 3 years, Tim Duncan scored 3,531 points in the regular season. Wemby scored 4,238. In the first 3 seasons total, Duncan he rebounded 2,428 balls. Wemby only rebounded 1,997. In assists, Duncan assisted 579 assists. Wemby did 642. Now, my argument, I think Duncan
You
is
should do
better
blocks though.
than Wemby. I didn't get blocks.
Yeah, get the blocks because the blocks, I can guarantee you, he is blowing everybody out of the water in the
Yeah, but he's
blocks.
about 3 more inches taller than Duncan.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know.
And the
I
reason
know.
why I think Duncan's aren't higher as far as points is because the doggone coach, Popovich. Popovich was not letting Duncan play at his full potential, in my opinion. He was tying him down and saying, look, yeah, I know you can score. Duncan, if you want to, probably could score 35 points a game if he wanted to. But that was not going to work in Popovich's system. And also why he got more points is because I never knew Tim Duncan to shoot a three. He was also always in the base, in the paint,
In the paint.
on the blocks. So Wemby shoots three at a higher clip
Percentage.
than
Yeah.
Duncan ever did. So that's why I think the first 2 years, why in 2 of those statistical metrics, Wemby is higher.
So the only thing I'll say about the first 3 years is Popovich never did that with the Duncan. Duncan was the man in his first 3 years. You didn't have Tony Parker, you didn't have Manu Ginobili, and that's when it changed, right? So for those first 3 years, he had David Robinson, Antonio Daniels, Sean Elliott, So his team was great, but it was good, but it wasn't great. So Duncan was able to take over those games and play a lot more freer because it was. But the reason why is the game was slower, right?
Yeah,
It was very yes. It was very slow for Tim Duncan back then. Take it down the paint, back it down, kick it out. If you don't got nothing for a 3-point shot, but it was always paint backing down. That's why a lot of people said the Spurs were boring. So it was a slower game than that. And now, when I say better than Tim Duncan, I say skill-wise, right? When you talk about fundamentals of the game and all of that, Wemby's not there yet. And I remember the first game of the season.
Isn't skills and fundamentals basically the same thing?
No, because fundamentals is so Duncan will go down low. He'll know when to put up a shot, when to pass it out. He has spin move, post off. Like Wemby doesn't have a go-to move yet. You know what I mean? Tim Duncan had a go-to move. The bank shot was always Tim Duncan's go-to move. Boom, boom, bank shot, right? So Tim Duncan had a go-to move the minute he got into the NBA. But when I say skill-wise, Wemby is doing behind the back dribbles, step back threes, spin moves off a dribble into the post. These are things that Tim Duncan could not do. Not like that. You know what I mean?
He could not do, or he did not do, because like you said, you can't hold Tim Duncan to the standard they're playing now, because I do believe
he can do
the greats. I keep hearing this question that blows my mind. Could Michael Jordan, could Tim Duncan, could Charles Barkley play in this era?
Mm-hmm.
They would smoke people in this area if they didn't get all those checks they're getting. The space they got now.
Tim Duncan is more or less this era, right? But I say that. I think the rules changed after Jordan went. So Tim Duncan has played in these no hand check rules and stuff like that. Tim Duncan is a 2-time MVP. Well deserved, 100%. But no, to say he can do the things that Wemby is doing, bro, nobody at this point right now that's a big man can do the things that Wemby is doing. It's crazy though. And that's why I say, you watch a game, I'm guarantee you are going to see some shit where it's like, what? How the fuck did he do that? Okay. You know what I mean? Like really and truly. So yeah. Now I think he has a long way to go, and I say this earlier because I remember when the first game of the season started, I was texting you guys, Wemby's going to be the GOAT. That was because Wemby scored 41 points, had like 20 rebounds, and I said, this is how Wemby is going to play all season. If he's going to be able to get 40 points a game, every game in the season, or not every game, but average, let's say average 40 points, he's going to be the GOAT. But then the next game, he didn't do that. It wasn't even close. It was like 20 points or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, and that's why I never said it again. I've never said, after that day, I never said Wemby's going to be the GOAT again, because I'm like, okay, you're not ready yet.
That first day, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I said, because he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet. If he starts where he's scoring 40 points a game, and he can do that for, let's say, because I know he can't do that forever, but let's say he can do that for like a 3-4 year stretch, then we have an argument. But until he's able to do that, like his height, at his height, that's what he should be doing. But because Wemby doesn't want to be known as just a big man, that's why he does the threes and all the, you know what I mean? The behind the backs. That's why he does all that Steph Curry stuff, because he doesn't want to be known just as a big man. He doesn't want people to think he's good just because he's 7 foot tall, which I understand. But at the same time, take advantage of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially
he has
in crunch time.
Danny, I would be standing by the rim like this. You know what I mean? Like, hey, give me the ball. Just put it up there.
But he has one thing going against him. That's his height. That's good. I mean, people don't understand. The taller you are in this game,
injuries.
It will. So I mean, if he's going to ever be in the GOAT category, he has to have longevity. To have to get it all right now and then learn in that.
Or
time.
he has to have longevity. He has to be able to play.
I think he got to beef up. I know he's 2 whatever, but he doesn't look. He looks. You gotta get. I don't think he's in a man body yet.
How tall is he?
6'4". 7'4". No, 7'1".
7'4".
7'1".
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like 6'10", but damn.
No.
Tall. That is
yeah. No, he skies above everybody in the NBA. That's why I'm like, if you're down low, nobody can stop you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to see if I can find some highlights for you guys. I don't know if you've seen his half court 3-point shot, but he pulled up, hit a shot on half court.
He is 7'4", 235.
7'4". Okay, 7'4". Okay, yeah. 7'4". Like,
let me compare. I put some more stats. In Duncan's first year, this is what he won: All Rookie, Rookie of the Year, all defensive first team and all defense second team.
Yeah.
What do you think Wemby's reach is?
He has like a 3 or 4 foot wingspan, something like that.
It is he has a 9'8" to 10-foot reach. That means, like you said, if they're low, just hold that ball up. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna jump. I mean, they could jump up there, but that's crazy.
He's that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm hoping for tonight. Share my screen, Danny. This is what he did in a game when they were down. I was like, bro, you crazy for that one. Like, it was straight up Steph Curry bullshit, bro. I'm glad he hit it.
It won't let me.
What's that?
It said before presenting your screen, remove other media streams from the stage. Okay, I gotta do my. All right,
yeah. That's weird. I never heard that before in stream here. Okay, there. You know what I mean? Like, that's some Steph Curry crap that he's doing, you know? I'm trying to find another clip where he shoots the ball, right? He's on one side of the rim. He shoots the ball. He catches it with this hand because he misses it, right? So it goes over the rim. He catches it with this hand and then dunks it. I was just like, bro, like, when you watch him, he does something that's unbelievable every single game. Every single game. My son is a freaking Spurs fan now. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can find it.
Does he stick with the Spurs for his whole career?
Oh, that's a question. I actually believe he will. I believe he will. It's just
those guys from overseas, man. They don't move too much.
No,
they don't.
They tend to stay with a team their whole career. Dirk Nowitzki. I don't think Jokic going anywhere. I could be wrong. Well, we just saw what's fake got traded. Well, he didn't want to move, but Dallas traded him to the Lakers. But I don't think he's gonna move from the Lakers.
Luka.
Yeah,
no, I don't think Luka's going anywhere too. The thing is, I don't just want Wemby to stay. I want Castle to stay. I want Harper to stay. If you can keep those 3 together, then you can build around those 3 players, and you can probably like contest for championships every year. You know what I mean? It's going to be kind of hard to maybe keep them, but yeah. Other than that, yeah, I he wanted to be a Spur, right? Like, that's the team he wanted to go to. He wanted to be a Spur. So I said, yeah, I think he stays. I think he stays with San Antonio.
Is this the one you're talking about?
If you get somebody like Ja Morant.
Which one? Are you sharing it? Because I can't find it.
I'm looking at it now. You sharing it?
Oh no, I'm sharing. This is some of his best dunks.
Oh.
I'm trying to find the one that he did in the game against OKC. I don't know if this might be too old.
When was
it?
That's
That's from 2 years ago. That was like last week.
Then look it up like that. Look it up by like date.
Versus
OKC 2016 playoffs.
It might be this one. Hold on. No, it's not that one, but it might have more.
What time does the start?
At 8:00. So we got until 8:00. You know what I'm saying? We got until 8:00. But yeah, if anything, I'll find it another time, whatever. But maybe this one. Okay, so watch this one. He's literally being held by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's still. Is this the one? No, okay, that's not it. But there was one where they're holding him like that. He gets the rebound and still dunks it. Like, he's unbelievable, bro. Like, you know, even if he wasn't playing for the Spurs, I would be talking shit about Wemby. But yeah,
the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, well, we're never gonna get to have that problem now. Now you already know if he ends up leaving San Antonio, then he's gonna be on the hate list, like Kawhi.
I know that more.
You know what I mean? He's gonna be on the hate list. But I can never deny what he does, though. It's unbelievable.
Clip that.
There was a
I can never deny it.
About the team that has the best Batman and Robin is going to win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know OKC is a little bit injured, but this is what I'm saying, and I've said it before, and I think I don't think San Antonio wins tonight because I do believe. No, I'll tell you why. I do believe the NBA scripted. I 100%.
I saw a list. Somebody sent me, and it had the past 6 or 7,
10, the last 10 championships from. There was an Epstein email.
Yep.
It came out in 2019, right? And it had the last 10 championship, the 10 championships from 2019 till now. And this year, it has the New York Knicks. Surprisingly, the New York Knicks are in the freaking finals, right? Just a week ago, right, on NBA.com on the shop, right, it said finals bound, and it had the Knicks, and it had OKC, and it had OKC before they even played game 5 on there. So that's that too. Now I'm watching these games, and I am telling you, there's some things that just don't seem right to me. The Spurs played the first game and they won it, but they played in a way where they were double teaming SGA all the time. Okay. They were double teaming all the time. They're trying to get the ball out of his hand. SGA was kicking it to Alex Caruso and the other guys, and they were just banging threes. Boom, 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 boom. That's how the Spurs lost those 2 games. Right. So they go to OKC.
Spurs won the first game.
Yeah, they won the first game, but they lost the 2 after. Go ahead.
Supposedly the NBA championship email is complete false and faked.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. No, listen. I hear what you're saying.
What they're saying here also is it's not on the DOJ list at all. It's not in there.
Okay.
So and the one thing I think they've done fairly well is release all of the emails.
I get it. I don't
buy it.
But I said this too. I don't buy it either. But if they win and then OKC makes it to the finals and they made these mistakes, you have to question it. You have to question it. How does it go onto the site, right? NBA shop, and you have finals bound, which means the 2 teams going to the finals, and you have OKC and they still have 2 games left.
Okay.
Right?
I agree with that, but I will tell you the flat out truth about that is that just like in the NFL and Major League, any team that was within X amount of games of making it to the playoffs or past their current spot, so division round, championship,
it was tied to.
I understand that, but any team, those T-shirts and that apparel is always made for all teams involved.
Now, why did they show the Spurs there?
Why did they do that? I don't know. Again, it's not the first time stupid shit's happened, but I just don't think that if it were scripted, that one stupid email would be out there, and that's the link that broke. I don't see that.
So here's another thing I'm going to tell you, because I said this too when we did the OOC. A lot of it has to do with the sports betting, right? We remember when we did a show and we talked about Chauncey Billups and all of them guys doing that shit, and we've never heard any consequences on that since that article came out, right? There's that, right? There's this stuff going on. There's the email, whether it's fake or not. I'm saying you still have to question it, and that's the problem. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not, but it's going to put questions in your mind now. Yes, it looks really fishy right now. You know what I mean? And then, like I said earlier, so when the Spurs lost those 2 games, they were double teaming SGA, and they go back to San Antonio. No, they lost. Yeah, they okay. So it was the 4th game in San Antonio, right? they decide that they're not going to double team SGA, they win that game. They go the next game to OKC and they do the doubling, right? OKC plays a shitty game when the Spurs won that one at home, the last one at home. They go to OKC, Spurs start doing the double team again, they win. They go back to San Antonio and they have one of the worst games they ever had. They didn't even look. Alex Caruso, who was the leading scorer, doesn't take one 3-point shot. He doesn't take one. They go back to San Antonio. They go back to OKC. San Antonio looks like the team that's in trouble. Then they go back to San Antonio, which was the last one. OKC looks like the team that's in trouble. It feels like it's all just a buildup to come to this one game 7 that we got now because this is the series. You know what I mean?
I will say what Chris said about the thing, maybe not real, but I do believe that since gambling is legal now, there's some people, hey, look, don't do this, don't do that. I think those calls happen. Two, I think there is no way that if you got a scheme that's working, that you're gonna fall off of it. And like that's just like in football. If you got somebody that's gonna work it, and then the third thing is we got so much technology now, and I've said this especially in football, there is no reason why in a playoff game or especially a Super Bowl there should be a wrong call. There's too many cameras out there to make a mistake. And I think I heard something about the NBA going to AI next year or something. Didn't you?
Yeah. So
when it's for years, and I love it.
When it comes to the out of bounds play, it's going to go to the AI too, right? Now, not to mention that whenever the San Antonio Spurs have won, they had friendly refs towards San Antonio. When OKC won, they had friendly refs to OKC. It just feels so weird right now. That's to where whether it's scripted or not, I just feel like you got to question it. That's all. That's all I say. I just question it.
I got you. This has been a fantastic show. The game is 12 minutes out. We all want to
yes, sir.
It. Chris got to bounce. I got to bounce. Also, before we got to hear Chris, tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me on the Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, a lot of other places, but we'll be back to doing Chaos Central shows this Monday coming up, and every Sunday right now I am doing the weekly wrap-up on the Real Review 3000. We will also be looking at, actually, I've just been combing through all my videos, trying to make sure I have all the winners and going back and find my old schedule for the Rumble and for the Name That Tune. So we are definitely ramping up towards that. I got a few things to work on, getting ready up here.
There's one winner you don't have to look for.
No. I know. I know the one that you're talking about. No, I don't have to. He's just sitting there for the next one.
Yeah, he's right there. He's, you may find him on one of your streams every now and then. You know what I mean? So you don't really have to look for him. He's right there.
But that's all coming up, and got the rant. We're gonna start doing those again. Just trying to wrap up some stuff here, so I'm ready to do those things. But looking forward to getting back at those. Just been busy. That's what we're doing. Thank you, Danny, for having me.
No problem.
Life,
yes, sir.
Life definitely gets in the way. We understand. Go ahead.
Always.
You can find me, Biggaford Entertainment. Like Chris said, we're going to be back doing the chaos stuff, and I can't wait to get back with my boys and talk about some of this stuff that's coming on, because we got a lot of things to talk about, right? Yeah. Mando not doing so well, all kinds of stuff like that. We definitely going to get into that too as well. Tonight, though, we will be doing the From Watch Party. And if you guys want to see my mood tonight, I think you're going to want to check in, because I am going to either be cheerful or very pissed off. So we don't know.
Let it be the latter.
No, let it not be the latter, because I want my money. I want my money.
Something to look forward to.
And you can find me on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, on Mondays and Fridays at 7. You got 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, you can find me Wednesday on the Hangout with a group of guys. Also, tomorrow, Sunday, on Storms Live. And definitely, like they said, next week we'll be back doing the Chaos Central stuff. It's a lot of movies that came out this month, and even more this coming out next month. So definitely tune in. We're probably gonna be talking about Michael, which is I'm thankful made over at 800 million. I think it's gonna get that billion.
Yes.
Mando, why it's not doing so well. He-Man's coming up. The new Spider-Man's coming up. Spider-Man Noir, hit or miss. So a lot of things out there to check out, man. So definitely rock with us, and we're gonna definitely try to come here and entertain.
Did Rob like Mando?
No.
Okay.
But Adam did. Adam raved about it.
Oh my God! Of course, Adam did.
Yeah.
Of course, he did.
He did not like it.
Yeah,
so,
that's trash.
Where is my closeout for this good show? So until next time, y'all take it easy. And peace.
Peace.
Peace.